Hello everybody, I am going to do a review today with a little bit of a comparison. The review is from the house of Bottega Veneta, that is specifically Bottega Veneta Pour Homme Parfum. And I'm going to compare it to the other Bottega Veneta I have, and that is the Bottega Veneta Pour Homme original. This is an EDT concentration, eau de toilette concentration, and this is obviously marketed as a parfum concentration. Now, I can't actually verify from the bottles what the alcohol concentration is, but what I really wanted to talk about is what the specific differences were between these two Bottega Veneta fragrances marketed to men. There is also in between these a Bottega Veneta Pour Homme Extreme, which from memory, because I haven't smelled it in a long time, is probably closer to the EDT in overall smell, just a little bit stronger with some different, obviously different nuances. I have done a review of the Bottega Veneta Pour Homme, the original. I'll leave a link at the end of the video. But Bottega Veneta Pour Homme Parfum is a different beast altogether to me. So firstly, they're recognizable by the fact that the parfum is a darker bottle. They're both still transparent, but that's a darker glass bottle. That's kind of grayer. And let's see what they smell like. I'll do a comparison from the arms, and because it's fresh, I can tell you what I'm smelling, but I can tell you in just a few words, because I already know this, is that Bottega Veneta Pour Homme Parfum, which we're reviewing here, is warmer, darker. The original eau de toilette is cooler, brighter. So the eau de toilette opens up with predominant pine and leather, touch of citrus, whereas the parfum, what I smell immediately is more fur and tonka. The tonka comes through quite a bit. For me, it's less leathery, so it's less of a leather scent than the original Bottega Veneta Pour Homme. It is still, to my nose, a lovely scent. Like I said, it's a warmer, more comforting scent. The notes are a little bit darker. This, I feel, the parfum isn't quite as, it doesn't feel like it develops quite as much as the original eau de toilette. And I have to say, as it stands right now, I still prefer the original Bottega Veneta Pour Homme eau de toilette, but I wish that it had the longevity of the parfum, which kind of makes sense, given that there should be more concentration of oils here. I'm not unhappy with the performance of the eau de toilette. I just wish I could smell that for longer. This, on my skin, I have heard conflicting reports about its performance, but the parfum version on my skin actually lasts, because the first time I ever tried it, I sprayed it on the back of my hand, and I could smell it all day. It's not a big projector at all. Neither of them project a lot. The original eau de toilette does a little bit more in the beginning. But after a few hours, I struggle to smell the eau de toilette, and I can still, this essentially does become a skin scent, but I can still smell it. Effectively, it starts off with a predominant fir balsam note. It's warmer. The tonka is there from the start and to the end, and only in the end does the leather become more apparent in the Bottega Veneta Pour Homme Parfum. But as I said earlier, it is not. It doesn't develop. It doesn't feel as complex as the original eau de toilette. Both, as I've come to expect, kind of from this house, have an air of sophistication and class when it comes to the kind of scents they create and market to men. But I know some of the Bottega Veneta Parfum fragrances, even the ones marketed to women, to my nose are quite lovely, that I would actually wear myself. And I don't think the masculine ones are any different in terms of women being able to wear them. Especially this Parfum version. The Eau de Toilette, because of that pine, the more dominant leather and the bergamot at the beginning is more traditionally masculine. Parfum is warmer, lasts a bit longer, but if I could only have one of these, I would stick with the Bottega Veneta Pour Homme Eau de Toilette, the original, and that one is still available. I have to really check about whether this is still actually in production. I mean, I only bought this last year. It was on the shelves, but since then I've been back to the store that sells them. I'm sure you can still get them at the moment, but they're no longer on the shelves, the Parfum version. So it would be interesting to see what happens. I don't really have much more to say about Bottega Veneta Pour Homme Parfum. Other than that is the reason why I've got a small bottle. I enjoy it. Whether I'll replace it or try to replace it when it's empty, I probably wouldn't. I can live without it. Whereas I find the original Eau de Toilette is kind of a bit of a staple in my wardrobe at the moment. I hope you found that useful. If you've tried both, I'd like to read about your experience with the differences between the two, with Bottega Veneta as a house in general. Just on a side note, I have tried their new release, the Illusione, and it kind of left me a bit cold when I tested it. But I'll see if I do a review down the track. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.